So I just watched Jesse Armstrong's new feature, Mountainhead, and I have some thoughts. For starters, I read a crazy number of reviews from people who didn't make it past the 30-minute mark in the movie, and I think I understand why. And to frame this a little bit, I think this movie exists as an outgrowth of the show Succession, and I'll tell you why I think that. Now, Succession was a massive hit, and I liked it a lot. The show really earned its accolades, but the result of the show for Jesse Armstrong, the creator and writer, I think, of most of the episodes, was that I think everybody took him for like a really good screenwriter because of that show. And I think we maybe need to look at it in a slightly different light. I think he is a perfectly fine writer, but the show was also fraught with his writing weaknesses. You can tell when he caught on to a particular like catchphrase because it would show up like 3 times in a 2-episode span, said by different characters. He'd also have American characters saying British idioms that like no one over here says. And when you get right down to it, there isn't any variety in his characters. All of the characters in that show are essentially the same person. Yeah, they all have different circumstances. They all come at it from, maybe a male perspective, female perspective, old, young, whatever it is, but they're all kind of the same person with the same drives, and they'll do the same thing in the same situation. Not a lot of variety of actual characters and characteristics. And though he's not some prodigy writing talent, one thing he is really good at is caricaturing the things that we think we know about the 1% and putting that on display. He does that in a really fun way. Now, what really gave the show Succession its shine was the acting talent. All of the actors in that show are freaking amazing. And what you enjoy in their dialogue has a lot more to do with line delivery than it does with what's actually written. We love the performances by these really talented actors of these wacky characters. And just to contextualize this, of the whole cast, Jeremy Strong is the least among them. That's how good the talent in this show is. Golden Globe winner Jeremy Strong is the least among them. So all of these guys can take even really weakly written dialogue and spin something pretty cool out of it. Something really entertaining. So Succession really succeeded as this super entertaining kind of sneak peek at the 1%. Conjectured sneak peek. The actions of these characters were based on what Jesse Armstrong thinks that the rich get up to in their spare time, and there was probably a good amount of accuracy to it, but there were also really contrived things, in season 2 or 3, I think, when all of these power players get together in a room and they're sitting around well, we're gonna pick who the next president is. Pitch me your idea. Oh, pitch me your idea. Well, we all know that I'm the kingmaker, so I'll have the final say. It's just ham-fisted. Now, Succession follows a legacy media empire, and at the time of its writing, the most prevalent, digital media ecosphere that Jesse Armstrong seemed to be aware of was the blogosphere. So the characters' confrontations with, the future of their industry were bumping up against the limits of what Jesse Armstrong was capable of making a story out of. Now, in the last few years, with advancements in AI and other tech, it seems that Jesse Armstrong has evolved his idea of what rich people get up to, what these tech tycoons get up to, and the types of personalities they are, and that is showcased in the movie Mountainhead. And I would just argue that this evolution of his ideas is an evolution in a kind of unintelligent direction. I don't think he's very in tune with what's going on. And you might argue that he's still just opting for caricature, which he is, but these characters in the movie Mountainhead are beyond caricature. If Succession was 1 part accurate, 1 part caricature, then Mountainhead would be 9 parts caricature and 1 part accurate. And maybe I'm wrong. That's based on my understanding of people. But the point is, the ridiculousness of these characters is what caused so many people to turn it off before the half-hour mark. It wasn't because they just hated the characters themselves, it was that they didn't believe these characters because they were so ridiculous. And I know that in real life, a lot of people in these positions are ridiculous people, but who Jesse Armstrong thinks that these people are is so ridiculous that it doesn't pass the smell test. Hence, after hearing 20 minutes of dialogue between them, people turn off the movie because they don't feel like they're actually watching a story anymore. They're not able to suspend their disbelief because it's so out of touch. Not that these rich characters are out of touch, as many rich people are, but that the writing is out of touch with these rich characters. But here is the thing. If you get past Jesse Armstrong's lapses in vision or understanding of what modern ultra-rich tech mega-billionaires get up to and think about and talk about. If you get past his vision of those things, you're in for a pretty wacky movie. And I mean that in a positive way. There are things in the dialogue all along the way that even this really talented cast of actors are not able to save. But I'm telling you right now, you want to push through it. Get yourself to the 1 hour mark in that movie. And from there on, the movie just takes you, man. It's something else. It's interesting movie. I won't spoil anything, but it's fun. And here's what I took away from it most of all. Even if I don't feel that everything about the portrayal of these characters is true to life, the movie still prompted some in-depth thought about society and about wealth and about media and about narrative. And that's what Jesse Armstrong's commentaries are all about. They don't have to hit a 95% fidelity threshold to be worthwhile. They are worthwhile because they make you think about the kinds of things that are or are possibly going on behind closed doors. And those are important things to think about because they affect the real world. And I think more than anything, what Jesse Armstrong wants everyone to know is that the emperor has no clothes. The machines, the governments, the businesses that make decisions about how our lives go are just these small groups of utterly ridiculous people. Normal people in some senses, and typically no more educated than you or me, certainly no smarter than you or me, but who find themselves in the position to affect you and me. They aren't bearers of some great wisdom, they're not motivated by anything less mundane than money, and they do utterly ridiculous and sometimes irredeemable things, and they are typically ridiculous people. And so Jesse Armstrong's point with these projects is valid, even if he could polish up the execution a little bit. All that said, I would give Mountainhead a 5 out of 10. It's not a great movie, but if you start it, watch it through to the end. I'll tell you what, just watch it through to the 1 hour mark, because when you get to the 1 hour mark, you're going to stay there till the end, I'm pretty sure. But if you find yourself withdrawing 20, 25 minutes in, just hang tight until that 1 hour mark. You got this. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to say about this movie. So thanks for checking this out. If you like discussion of mysteries and movies and you have not yet subscribed, do so below. Thanks guys. We'll see you again soon.